That's how wide the blade was, right?
Well, that's about a typical diamond blade,
Like
actually,
a quarter of an inch.
because like how it does that waving, it's gonna make this a little bit bigger than the blade, actually.
Exactly. So if this, you see the curve where the curve is, it's right here.
Yeah.
So if this is already bigger than the blade,
Yeah.
how thin that blade was?
It's incredible.
3 millimeters.
And look at the
Yeah.
work it's doing.
Yeah.
So
It has to be at least this wide, at least.
Now, has there ever been I guess that's like a stone saw blade? You know, like I wonder if that.
There is the wire diamond we have today.
Right, but that's on metal or
It makes a
something.
straight cut too.
It makes a straight cut.
Any kind of stone blade would just wear down. Yeah, so that couldn't.
This is not completely.
A stone blade will be much thicker, I would think.
I had to think. Yeah.
Because if it's
Yeah, it
thinner,
wouldn't work.
if it's that thin, no matter how hard it is,
Yeah.
it will break so fast.
This is-
Yani, even if there is like
Even
a
if it was like
quarter,
diamond
a
even.
quarter blade.
Diamond
Where are we
blade.
gonna find that?
I don't know. They could have found that.
Let's
you
say
know,
quartz.
which- yeah.
If it's a quarters blade and it's that thin, it
Yeah.
will will shatter still.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna.
This is not flat. It's concave a little bit.
Yeah.
It's weird.
You mean the striations?
No, if you look down here, it's not totally flat. It's like
You got
it
straight
dips
Yeah.
in the middle. It dips
Yeah.
in the middle.
But that's exactly what I mean. But that this
I mean,
will
you can't
be
see it like that, but it's just very slight.
will be what happens when your blade is big and it's moving and,
Moving around,
like wobbly a little
And it's
bit.
spinning so fast.
And yeah,
Do we have an estimation of the
we
size?
see that it circles a little, each and every one of them,
Yeah, they go.
and
It's a large circle. Very
they are
large.
continuous.
But it's a very large
Right, so it's
circle.
not. And if they were to cut like this side and then that side, you'd see that right
Yeah,
here.
you'd have
you know.
overlap.
That's what we see in the modern ones
Right.
because the disc we have is like 1 meter or
Right.
something.
If you follow the arc of these circles, it has to be at least this big, this all. I mean, no bigger.
But what about a blade that is curved, but it goes back and forth? What it gives? Huh?
Swing saw.
Huh?
Yeah, swing saw it's called.
There he is.
A band, like a band saw.
Don't disappear.
A swing saw.
I just have the only answer.
Stay near us because we need your knowledge.
Pivots up here. So
Yeah, pivots up there and it's like a section of an arm.
Because you know a band saw.
Now,
Feel
if
it
you-
as well.
If you had a human hand doing that, it'd be rougher, it'd be uneven. This is done by a quick machine at a quick, rapid rate. That's rapid rate. That's not for a day, because then it'd be uneven. You know what I'm trying to say? A machine
yeah.
is going.
But when it has its cutting, when you're cutting into a stone, it creates a very tight little channel curve, and you don't get sloppiness, even if you're doing it by hand. Because it starts cutting the curve and it goes in, and the stone itself, once it'll have the
It's gonna be the
trackway,
guiding
it's going to be
line.
pretty straight.
The guiding line.
Because you're not doing it in an open way.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't make this stone is really hard. You couldn't make
This
it.
is
But it-
6.5.
They only had copper, so copper couldn't done.
Copper with diamond little could probably do
You
it.
can't put
So
diamond
it's not
in
the
copper.
it's not the copper.
you're
Yes,
not the
Egyptian-
copper, but
if you're
it's not the
Egyptian,
copper. It's the powder.
The powders could do it.
The powder is the material that has this. And but he just mentioned something interesting that these striations cannot be done by powder because powder will
bigger
leave
pieces,
a
because they would
smaller
do it-
surface. So these are like
no, these are serrations of
pieces,
saw.
and these pieces is not
Rotating
going to
saw.
be working if it's separate from the blade because it will destroy the blade itself. What do you think?
Right. Yes.
Well, the
Like if
problem-
these were bigger pieces, not powder.
Yeah, the problem with the circular saw is that it would be this has striations. A perfect circular saw cut would be more perfect. If it was a machining power tool cutting this, and a really big one, this wouldn't have those waves in it. It would be just perfect.
Nah, you still got to do.
That's a lot of-
When you cut with a circular saw, you still have to polish that. If you want that.
No,
perfect, you
not
have
perfect
to
in
do
its
some work.
smoothness, just perfect. There's like ripples. Like it's more like it's.
You mean like
Yeah,
this?
like that.
What
Like
if, what if
because
it?
that
What
would
if it's
grind it like
okay?
super
But
smooth.
if it's a circular saw
pretty
and,
damn
and the
smooth.
diameter
Circular
is
saw.
big, and it's look here
Just imagine how much powerful it would
look
be.
at this
Yeah,
little curve here.
The curve would be
Gives
like-
us how thick or thin the blade was.
In quarrying, they use circular saws to quarry stone, and they use them. They're like this thick.
Yeah, they're very thick.
They're not like in a.
And
in
they
a
had diamond
universe
tips
the
in them
same.
too.
Yeah.
They use like 10-foot, 12-foot quarrying saws, but they're
Which they'll use those even when they cut into
it's a
roads.
big.
And stuff.
There are all the pictures in Italy where they were extracting the marble with a giant hand saw. Like,
Anybody
But
that
that's
has
muscle.
This
glass?
is how they did it, I think.